Sup, guys?
Welcome back. I hope you appreciate the new looks.
We got fresh outfits, bro.
You got all nice and fresh, just
Look.
for you. Mwah. Look at them.
Mwah.
Look at them.
They're so cute.
They're so adorable.
So I have a zebra.
I have a klugi.
Finn is a clown.
He's little.
Because he's a clown.
I am.
No, because he likes Klukis so much.
Yes. They're adorable. Okay, they look like they have little red button-up jackets, but the buttons are on the back because obviously that makes sense. And you get us placing isopods on the mic stand ASMR.
We also have a weirdo.
He's like a little ghost. He's the ghost of isopods past.
Yes. Okay.
We should do the monster thing.
I should do the monster thing. Okay. So this episode is the Hamm recapture. We're gonna try to make it. We're gonna try not to lose focus every 5 seconds.
We have a script.
Let's people enjoy the ASMR.
How do you do that so smoothly?
Ah! What's the table?
Don't question me. Monsters mixed with smoothies is absolutely delicious.
Okay, I need to.
But mine aren't mixing. Look at that gradient, though. It looks
Wait,
aesthetic.
It looks like a cocktail. I have to wipe this. Give me a second.
Could you bring me a spoon?
Spoon.
Yes. I would like for this to mix, actually, even though it looks pretty. It's like a sunset color. Thank you. Criminal activity here. The combination of two beverages.
I'm pretty sure that what we're drinking is already criminal to many people. So mixing it with smoothies.
I'm gonna leave the fork in there because I feel like that matches the energy of our podcast. Cheers.
Wait, let us cheer on one of the phones, so on one of the microphones, so people can hear the thing.
Let's
Can
do
you
it.
can you come here?
Yeah, I can. Look.
That was so weak.
Okay, again. Cheers.
Cheers.
Scrumptious.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
go.
Okay, let's talk Hamm.
Let's talk ham.
So we've been to Hamm, as I think everybody knows now. we went Hamm.
We went ham.
We went Hamm, and we're trying to make this episode a bit more focused, not derail all the time. So we went to Hamm. It was this weekend. It's now a couple of days after. Not a couple. Yeah, it's a couple of days after it. Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of experience. It was a ton of fun. We got to know a lot of people.
We met a lot of people.
Finally met some of the people I only know from the onlines, like Ben or the worst part is that they never tell you their name, so you only know their Instagram handle. So if I say that now, I'm gonna dox them. But the lady who just got her baby, who gave us.
Oh yeah, she was so sweet. She was
so
the one who
sweet.
bought one of the duckies.
She bought one of the duckies.
I think that was her. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think she bought a toy at least. I think, yeah. And then there was the guy from the Netherlands who's actually from Wales. He's really nice. He also he sent something to me and the post office fucked it up, and then he brought it to me on Hamm.
That guy.
That guy is really nice. We had a good conversation about.
Was it he was pretty tall. I think his hair was slightly
he's a bit
curly
taller
and
than
darker.
me. Yeah, like when you see him online, you're like, oh, it's just a guy, and then he's in front of the camera, and he's in front of your table, and it's like.
He is
big boy.
He is pretty tall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were flirting with him like mad.
Of course, I flirt with all the customers and friends. So it was nice, him and of course Ben and some other people I didn't know before. So we're gonna just give a quick rundown of how it went, and then we're gonna show. So just like a short, we're gonna talk about going there, all the isopods we got,
all the critters we saw.
How the show went. Then we're gonna show the animals that we got.
They're very secret, super secret.
And then we're gonna wrap it up. I think
Yeah.
that's the plan.
Nice and shorter episode.
Yes. It's gonna be 1.5 hours probably.
Yeah,
No.
it's gonna be a nice shorter episode.
Short, crisp, 5 hours.
We have a script. We're being so professional. 3.5 hours later, we're back to discussing the sexual habits of ducks.
And we still haven't shown anything from the isopods. Okay, I'm gonna switch up the jazz if that's okay, because my brain is sleepy.
Yeah, same.
We're listening to a playlist called Date Night Jazz.
Damn.
It's my good morning playlist. It's just nice jazz. Okay.
I was about to suggest Hosier, but then you're gonna be sad.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sad. No, it's gonna be something intense. Lamb of God is probably not yours. Let's do.
Yeah, the one thing I discovered throughout the trip of Hamm, like especially the journey, was our music tastes are vastly different.
Oh, you have a taste? Well,
yeah,
we can just start. It was driving me and my mom, and then Finn.
Yeah.
So drivers were my mom and me, and Finn was in the back cozying up and relaxing.
Yeah. I was sleeping so much. Like every time the conversation stopped, my brain just went, "Oh, but the car is so nice. Like the slight vibration." And it's just, and then I'd be out. And I think your mom was concerned at one point. Like
yeah,
when
we got concerned because you slept every day, all day, and I was like, "Is Finn all right?"
Yeah, it's just car rides. They make me so sleepy.
Well, I mean, it's a good way to pass the time.
Yeah, they just conk me out.
And so yeah, my mom was having a stressful. So we there was so much preparation because we found out that we need a lot of forms and things. Like you need to hand every customer a care sheet, and so we had a care sheet. We wrote a care sheet, and when we printed the care sheet, like a lot of times because every customer needs to get one. And we handed out one, I think.
Yeah, we handed out a single one because the guy was a little unsure on
and nobody else cared. And then we had to have a declaration with all the animals and all where they come from, if they're protected, all the information. Yeah. Nobody looked at it.
But the thing is, the other, like, I only know from the one guy that I bought from. If I hadn't mentioned, hey, I really need the paperwork because I'm going to Austria, and if I don't have the paperwork, I'm fucked. He was like, no, you don't need the paperwork. And I was like, no, I do need it for Austria. And he was like, oh, shit, sorry.
Yeah, but for selling their isopods wasn't needed.
Yeah, no.
And then we drove there, and so my mom had a very stressful car situation in the beginning, so I turned on some dope lemon to calm her down and have an easy car ride. And then at one point she was like, this is too boring, I need something to hype me up. And then so I played Gojira because I know she likes that, and that was I think the part where Finn was like, oh, these people like to listen people scream.
Yeah, it was like the first music, it was pretty okay, it was chill, and then it was like, oh okay, yeah, no. And I think that's what
you showed me Sleep Token, and Sleep Token screams a lot.
I like the ending of one specific song of theirs because it just, I don't know, it's nice. It tickles my brain in the right way. It's like, ooh, this is cool.
I really like the song, but the whole song tickles my brain. We're gonna listen now to This Is Not a Universe album by Tin Liquor. It's really nice, and it's like techno-y vibes, electronic music. So yeah, okay.
It's really funny. At one point, I mean, we're probably like at one point you're probably gonna drive with me and my mom again.
Oh Lord.
And then I'm gonna be the one putting on the music, and everyone is going to hate my guts. Except for my mom. My mom is gonna vibe so hard. For mom, but it's really easy. Like
I listen to soft music a lot.
Yeah, no, you can just, if you put Mamma Mia on, mom is guaranteed to have a wonderful car ride. Because we all love Mamma Mia in this family.
Okay. So we went there. It was a 10-hour car ride there. So from Austria to Germany. And the hotel was an absolute shithole.
What? You didn't like the mold in the shower?
The going with pride, the hotel had all the colors of the rainbow when it came to mold in the shower.
Yep.
I think that's the nicest way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna give that a review because it was expensive and shit. Like if it's cheap and shit, then it's different. But if it's expensive and shit,
the breakfast wasn't included.
The breakfast wasn't included, and the breakfast looked horrible, and people were just not nice.
Yeah,
like they weren't even trying. They were like
Ben's hotel room.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So and then we met Ben. We had planned with Ben from iSpot.com to meet. and when we wrote, he was like, "Hey, where are you guys staying?" And Hamm was like, "Yeah, this is our hotel." And he was like, "Okay, I'll also book the same hotel." And then our rooms were as high as this room here, which is 3.5 meters or something like
It's
that.
about 2 fins stacked on top of each other.
Something like that. So it's what the height needs to be in order to be okay. And our rooms were like that. And then Ben, he was like, "My room is like a fucking cave. It's the worst. I can't even stretch. It's so narrow." And they were like, "How? This doesn't make sense." And then he even told us like, "Yeah, my room is this number." And they were like, "Wait, that's across our rooms. It's the same floor.
Like,
it's like literally the door on the other side." And then later he showed us his room, and it's like a fucking college dorm. It's like 2 by 3 meters, a bed, and it was the worst. And like literally,
I think even I could touch the ceiling.
It was so narrow, and so it was not a nice hotel. And yeah, but we met Ben. We talked a lot to him.
It was really cool.
It was really nice. He was really authentic.
All the things he did, I was like, that is so stunning and like so inspirational to have done so many things for like such a niche part of a community, like the isopod community. It was so cool to learn all of that because I didn't really have a lot of a clue who he was. All I knew
didn't?
was
okay.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I'm a snake kind of guy. All I knew was Orlando is super fond of him, biggest fangirl. No.
Don't you misgender me.
I'm sorry, biggest fanboy. I just every time I say fanboy, I so
you
often
say
I say
femboy,
fanboy.
yeah.
So yeah, but it was so cool to meet him and to learn all of the things he's done, and like that he basically brought rubber duckies into the hobby, which that is so cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna wait. Let me just check if the cameras. So I'm just a bit more. What is it? The word? I'm a bit more focused at the camera, that I don't fuck up the cameras and that people don't see what they're supposed to see. So that's why. So we're gonna probably, I hope so, have him as a guest. So I'm not gonna talk too much about Ben because I don't want to tell the same story twice. But I think we can tell this story in short. Ben was the person who, through him, the first rubber duckies were sold in the hobby, and then he and his business partners said, "Okay, well, Ben, you gotta go to Thailand, and you gotta do this." And then he started doing it, and he brought in so many interesting species, and he's one of the people who's actually concerned about the animals, who's concerned about the hobby. He cares, and you can hear that when you talk to him.
Yeah, that was I didn't expect that because a lot of people that are in like the
You're just talking past the microphone. Yeah.
That are in like the exotic pet community, there's so many people that are in it just for the money.
Yeah. Which is so dumb because there's just way easier ways to make money and not have anybody suffer.
Yesterday I had to take a frog to the vet, and I actually met like the vet who works at Haus des Meeres, which was when he walked out of the like into the waiting room to get the customer before me. I was like, I know that guy.
Is he the guy from Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, fun story.
Something.
A friend of mine. I'm still focusing on the audio levels here. A friend of mine. She's a vet, and she studied with him, and they're friends.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, like, I saw him on a story of hers recently.
No, but for a second we had this super, this awkward eye contact of, I recognize this face. Who are you? And then the other person going like, why are you staring at me like that?
And did you talk?
Yeah, he was the one checking out the frog and stuff.
Oh, so he was the vet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
It was so cool. It felt a little surreal, to be honest. I was like, am I hallucinating? But he was so nice, and we talked about the hobby a little bit. And he said something very funny that I wanted to mention because you said it's so stupid to make money that way. And he was like, yeah, if you want to make money, sell drugs, not animals. I was like,
right. Yeah. There you go. Be a good person, sell drugs.
Yeah, be a good person, sell drugs.
So going back to the chronology, we met Ben, we hung out with him, we had dinner. We all talked isopods, which I really enjoyed. To meet a person for the first time in real life and you just immediately talk about all isopod stuff, focused. That was such a nice thing because it rarely happens.
Yeah.
And again, he was such a nice down to earth. I mean, I guess if you're looking for isopods, you gotta be down to earth. Am I right? But he's like really down to earth, really authentic, and he gave us so much stuff. Like where's the rubber ducky gift? I have to look for it.
Where did you put it? I know you put it in a specific
I know.
bag to
I know
be
where
safe.
I put it, but when I took stuff out from the convention, I think it's with the leaves.
Should I go look for it? If you tell me where the leaves are.
The leaves are in this bag, the yellow bag. You can look there, and I'm gonna look here, and we're gonna be right back.
All right. I want to hold something too.
And this is what Ben gave us.
It's a little ISO miniature.
Like everything else he gave us was also for sale possible, but this one was like, this is for your podcast. And it's a hand-painted, 3D printed. He's
adorable. I think you named him Ben, right?
Yeah, we had
in
to
Ben's
name him
honor.
Ben. It's from Hellfire Exotics. It's not a toy. Might have called it a toy 5 times now. But it's really cute. It's hand-painted with miniature painting. I think he said something like he used to be into Warhammer or something like that.
Yeah, I think
or something similar, which, you know.
Oh, I just realized you can't even see the mantis because the schmoothie monster combo is so dark.
Oh, yeah.
She's hiding.
Well, it's a mantis they're hiding. So yeah, this is really nice, and this is now one of the mascots here.
Yeah.
And then he gave us a couple of isopod toys, well, because this is clearly not a toy. The zebra and the clown and a couple of other ones, and then he gave us some isopod food. Oh, where's the isopod food? You just had it, right?
I didn't.
By the way, we looked for that little miniature for like 10 minutes. We're the worst.
Yeah, try to have 2 ADHD people in a room find one specific item.
Okay, I gotta find the isopod food. Keep people entertained. Tell stories.
I can start talking about the animals I saw at Hamm.
Do it.
Okay, because second point is what kind of animals we saw at Hamm, and I went there with a mission, because as we discussed last time, unfortunately my breeding female has passed away. So I was looking into getting a replacement for her, and before the convention was officially opened, you couldn't buy anything, but you could trade or reserve stuff. So I rushed to every single hognose breeder's table, every single one. It was like, hey, I need a female with these and these genes. Do you have one, preferably an adult? And there was one guy, he was really sweet, he was a little older, who was like, yeah, I have some, I don't have them with me, I could ship them. They're like from my breeding program, but I've retired them, which I was like, super sweet, great offer, but why did you retire them? Like, there has to be a reason. Why are they no longer breeding? And then I found the one breeder that I saw the last time I was at Hamm as well, who has such expensive animals, but gorgeous animals. He has super pretty leucistics. And I asked him, hey, do you have a female with those genes? Welcome back, Orlando. You've magically put on another shirt.
Yeah, wardrobe change.
Yeah. And then I asked him if he had a female with those genes, and he was like, no, he stopped breeding for those specific genes because the animals of that specific gene tend to throw really weak babies and sick babies, and it's just not a healthy gene. And I was like, what? I didn't know that. I researched so much about this gene combination. How did I not know about it? And he was like, yeah, no one talks about it because they make a lot of money. And it was like, shit, what do I do now?
Again with the money.
Yeah. I was like, shit, what do I do now? And he was like, well, I say like so often. You can tell I spent some time in America because that's like the one thing people...
Because that's like...
Yep, people talk about, I should stick to the script, animals. So I talked to him, I was like, what do I do now? Should I completely change my breeding program that I've prepared for? And he told me it's not necessary, but he does have a female that somewhat fits. And she was a lot more expensive than what I was ready to get. But she has really, really good genes and very strong genes. And I talked a lot to him about...
Just starting with the camera on the side, please.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just keep the people entertained because that's what I do best.
With the talk. I'm just having issues because the camera is in front of the laptop, and then I can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, and then so I did end up buying her after a lot of like consultation and talking about it, mainly just because I found out through pure coincidence that one of my friends who also has hognoses recently bought a male that is the perfect fit for her, because where mine is a visual lavender, hers is just a het. And with the thing, if you pair a visual lavender to a visual lavender, you don't get the best fertility odds, and the babies don't tend to be as healthy as well. And with him only being het lavender, that improves our chances for better and healthier babies. So that was perfect, and I ended up buying her. Her name is now MJ. like MJ.
She's from the Netherlands.
No, because of Spider-Man, because of Zendaya. No, she is named after weed. I can't pretend. I'm gonna own it.
Which she could use some of, as I've heard from her behavior.
Yeah, MJ is a handful. She has all of the sass and none of the chill, but that is okay because she ate on the second day of being at my place.
That's good.
So
right?
that was great. And yeah, after I made the deal for her, I checked out some of the other animals. I wasn't too interested in it because I've already seen it once, but they did have so many pretty geckos. I saw so many crested geckos and leopard geckos of like really giant leopard geckos. God.
Opposite of our table was another table that had New Caledonian geckos, and they were a fucking menace. Yeah. Did you see them? I took a picture. They were in their little plastic cup, and they were, for some reason, they were upside down, like this. Like this. Like, so imagine my feet up on the ceiling, like this. And then they looked at us like this. And they were just staring at us the whole time. They were ready to fucking eat us.
There was this one table that, because there's a giant version of leopard geckos. I know there's some that get much bigger, and I think that's you can breed for it, whatever. But there was one, and he reminded me of a rescue gecko I had when I was younger. That was also one of the like bigger variant. Her name was Cupcake, and she was adorable. She was an Enigma leopard gecko, and she did have Enigma syndrome. It's like spider syndrome where they have neurological issues. No. So she was a hand-feeding baby. So, of course, I had a really strong bond with her because I've hand-fed her entire life. That's okay. I like watching you struggle.
Oh, thank you.
Should I help you? But yeah, I saw that gecko and I was like, holy crap, you are so big and so chonky and you have those little tiny feet. And I went closer to the box to look at it, and that thing like immediately went fight mode. Immediately went. It was great.
They're really so. Second thing, we shared a table. Like was table, and then people. We were on the inside, and then people could walk by on both sides. And we shared it like we were moon landing the whole time. If you know what that is like, if your butts touch accidentally. We were moon landing the whole time with the people from the booth on the other side, which was two really lovely ladies from Gecko Palace, and they sold their geckos, and they were really nice.
They were super sweet.
So shout out to Gecko Palace. Unfortunately, they gave us a really nice sticker, but it's unfortunately on my big transport box. I'm not gonna get that here. Maybe I'll just cut it in right now. Post-production's gonna forget about this shit. 100%.
And then you're just gonna post it. No editing, yes, just post it like, okay, I forgot. Hold on, I'll write you a note.
And then, Ben gave us also some of his isopod food. And basically was like, yeah, this is how much it kind of costs for him, all the stuff. And we can sell it for how much we want and keep the profit. And the food was for free. So he was just really nice. He was so nice. So we hung out with him. I think we're not going to talk too much about Ben because, there's going to be a Ben episode. And
Ben episode.
And I hope. And then, people are going to hear the same stories again. But yeah, he talked to us a lot about, keeping, but mostly about
ventilation,
and mostly about what he does, how he works, some other stuff as well, like where he grew up from Texas and stuff like that. You can see at Finn that we're not listening to smooth jazz anymore.
Yeah, I'm vibing.
This is gonna be a gif, I guess. And then
I'm gonna tell it.
Gotta tell your we have okay. So we write it down, and we talked about it later. That we have fans now who do weird stuff, and that you met a fan who you didn't recognize.
No. One thing,
okay.
I can finally say my youngest brother proudly, because he came out to mom.
Oh, he did?
He came out to mom
That's
yesterday,
so nice.
and I'm so happy.
Was everything all right?
It was, of course, it went okay.
Nice.
I've been telling him to get a move on for weeks, and his name is
Get
now.
your gender out there, bro.
Yeah, his name is now Emilio or Milo as a
Emilio.
It's so cute. I'm
so
so
much
proud of him.
That is nice.
I probably got really loud.
So I call him Emilio now.
Yeah, or Milo.
Milo.
Milo is a lot easier for me to remember.
What?
Because I keep saying Elias instead of Emilio.
Yeah, because the name was Elia, right?
Yeah.
So Elia and Elias is kind of very similar.
No, I remembered why, because at one point they talked about what the...
Is it they now or he?
No, in school, they, as a collective.
Oh, okay.
All the little kitties. They talked about what the opposite gender version of their name would be,
Oh, yeah.
and he was like, yeah, mine would be Elias, and I fucking hate it because I know a guy called Elias and he's a dick. And so now...
Oh, I once was at a workshop for barkeeping. Like I'm a very good barkeeper. I hope I still am. I haven't done it for years, but like I do the things. I know, like I knew more than 150 cocktail recipes.
How do you keep getting cooler? Like usually if you know people for a long time, their cool level kind of ebbs out and goes to a steady level, but every time I meet you, you open your mouth and say something, you become a million times cooler. What the fuck,
Oh, you mean
bro?
like I used to be... I mean, I didn't do a lot, but I used to be a bit in firefighting. And what else did I do? I built the bottle gardens, you know this?
Yeah, I know that. They're so cool.
I once saved one of my neighbors from whatever. I just tried to write it down, whatever. Okay, so but what happened?
I think we just got done with Ben, the isofood and everything.
But Elia and I wanted to say something not smart probably. So yeah, he gave us some food and we had a great time with him. I think that's my point. And then next day we all together went to Hamm, and we were there like 2 hours I think before the whole thing started, because you have to be done with setup so that they can control everything. Because if everybody is done with their table 10 minutes before the thing opens, how are they supposed to control it, I guess? And one of our neighbors had snakes, and one of the people
they were so sweet.
Yeah, but that was a really cool thing where one of the securities, I guess, or one of the staff members, they went through and they were like, they looked at the snakes, were like, this one, clouded eye, what's going on? And she was like, well, he's just shedding, and he was like, I don't care, put him back. And and I like that because it was very different from Prague, where it was like, oh, the animal is practically dying due to the way you're selling it. That's amazing.
But there were other breeders that had shedding animals on their table.
Yeah, but
I
think it was because of the eye and everything.
There were other breeders with snakes that were shedding, and all snakes, when they shed, they get like blue cloudy eyes. There's
so many rules, and I only remembered the ones that were for arthropods, because of course the rules are different. For example, when you sell what is Wirbeltier? What is the opposite of an arthropod?
Spine animals. No.
What is it? Vertebrates. When you sell vertebrates, vertebrates. When you sell animals that have bones, then you have to have so much more stuff going on with. You got to know what gender they are. You got to know the whole line of breeding. So many things which are very important. But for isopods, it's like the basics, and then that's it. But it's good.
Yeah, that's gonna be so interesting in the future when I try to sell at Hamm.
Yeah.
Because even though I tried to tell most of the readers, I would like to know who the parents are as well. No, they're just like...
So for that topic, we're gonna try to be there again in fall. It was kind of we made okay profit. It was okay. The expenses were covered and then some. Finn is gonna sneeze. He's snoozed.
Hit my ear.
And then people told us that the June, so Hamm happens 4 times a year. People told us that June is always the weakest one of the 4, and then fall is the strongest one because everybody has children from their pets, and then they like all the vertebrates again.
That was really sweet too, that a lot of the breeders that have gone there for a longer time, like so many people came to just check on us, like all of the table neighbors, they just checked on you, were like, you good? And then when we were like, we didn't make the greatest sales, and we both were a little discouraged, and then they were like, please don't worry about that, don't take this specific Hamm as an example, it's the weakest season, but for what you're doing great. And I did not expect that. It was so sweet.
It was way more positive than I would have thought. And I think it was actually good to be there for the first time so we can see what it is. And then next time when there's going to be more people, we're already prepared. So if anybody is going to Hamm for the first time and doesn't know how to do it, you can hit us up in the DMs. And I mean, we can only give our information the way it worked for us. So for example, we had a security come by in the beginning and she said like, I'm not sure if the way you're selling these is okay because you don't have all the information for the specific isopod on the bin. Do I have a bin here somewhere? Okay, but basically I sell my isopods like this. Currently, I'm gonna change that now, probably. I sell it like this, and then there's a sticker here on top with my logo, and then some information about, like my Instagram, and then the name of the isopod. And she was like, no, it has to be like this. Which is the one I bought. As you can see, so much text is on there with all the information how you keep it. And then I was like, got very nervous because it was even before the show started, and I felt like, okay, are they going to shut us down now? Because as far as I understood the rules, you only need to have that information available on your table.
Yeah.
It only needs like on the declaration, which I had printed out 2 times or even more, and we had it in our folder. And I told her, like, I'm sorry, this is going to be a problem. I only have the information here this way. And then she was like, don't worry, but we're still going to check. Mm-hmm. And then later she came back and she was like, no, with this, it's okay. And then I specifically asked her, like, hey, the way this is prepared, can we come again like this next time? Mm-hmm. Or is it like, you're new here, that's why we're going to let it pass? And she was like, no, this is okay. You're going to come like this again. So
it's really funny because there were a couple of breeders that had, like, especially with geckos and snakes, that had no info whatsoever on the bin. They handed it to you as a paper.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be fine.
I think so too. So, but just to make sure for everybody, start with the preparation a couple of weeks earlier because you have so much paperwork and so many things to take care of. For example, you have to have a prevention for the animals to fall off the table that you need to bring yourself. In Austria, we don't have that, but you need to have like a little wall in front of your table, and you need to set that up. It needs to be at least 10 centimeters high. And so then we found that out a couple of days before. I mean, it's not like they didn't tell us, but, my brain. You get like a big, here's all the information, and then you start reading it, and it's all, the first stuff is all like things that don't really matter. And then later on, the other stuff comes. So yeah, just you can hit us up. Again, we only have very specific information, but we can at least give you some information on how it works. And then, we were there. So it was a lot of people. It got warm, but people were like, it's going to have 30 degrees, and it didn't went that bad, in my opinion. It was okay.
It was pretty okay. It was a little, if you plan on wearing a binder to Hamm, don't.
Yeah, Finn was dying.
I was death. I was just
he was death bound.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we sold quite well. Yeah. Not the best again. It would have been great if it weren't so many expenses because of driving for 2 days with all the gas and hotel rooms for 3 people, and as soon as you're gone for 3 days, you just have some expenses. We met a lot of people.
We met a fan.
That
was crazy.
We met actually a couple of people who were like, I think like 2 people or so.
Yeah.
I mean, the other ones we already knew from Instagram, but one person was like, yeah, watch your podcast.
Yeah, it was so crazy for me because I was just standing on the table alone. He was walking past our table, just glancing at it, and then did like a full-on stop and looked at me, and I was like, oh, did he see something he liked? I was like, hi. He was like, oh my god, you're Finn. I was like, how do you know my name?
This is, by the way, we had this on our table with the QR code you can scan to go to our podcast. I don't think we got a lot of new people for our podcast, but we got out there. So, yeah, I just dropped that.
Anna, my best friend, she watched our podcast.
Oh, nice. Wait, is she the one with the dragon millipedes?
No, that's Lyra.
Quick update on the dragon millipedes. They're growing.
They're
like you know how we showed them when they were smaller?
Yeah, with the little
which was 2 weeks ago, I think.
ducky question
No, it was with the Cristomedillidium muricatum. But it was like where they were mixed with another bin, and I think we filmed that 2 weeks ago.
Tiny spiky.
We filmed that 2 weeks ago, and yesterday or 2 days ago I serviced all my animals, and the dragon millipedes, they look like they're twice the size or more. They're like this now. So if your friend is in town,
she might come for.
I'm gonna show her something that's this big.
Oh, bro, that's huge. Okay, that's
humongous.
That's fucking enormous. That's most girls couldn't handle that.
No, they can't. They're like no. Okay. We also bought some. Oh no, my camera died.
Oh shit!
Why did the camera die? Am I getting a call? Can you check?
No, you got text.
Yeah, but that isn't. Okay, but they can still hear me. I just have to redo the camera. This is the worst. So.
Yeah. Should I continue?
Yeah, please continue.
Okay. I mean, we were kind of starting to talk about like our future plans. We definitely plan on going back to Hamm. We also might go to some other local conventions because there's one in the fall that my mother wants to go to get some fat-tailed geckos, which, by the way, cutest geckos ever. And we might hit a couple other local expos that aren't as far away and sell there. We're definitely gonna sell at Haustiermesse in Vienna again. It's such a shame you couldn't see Orlando's expression just now. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm getting annoyed by whatever's happening here. I think what also was good about Hamm for us is that now we realize we can just sell outside of Austria. We've done it. We've been to the biggest, and now we're gonna go to some other ones.
Now we're brave, boys. The Isobros have gotten a courage update. Yeah, so the future plans are go to more expos, keep doing our thing. I'm really tempted because I have a couple of these isopod toys, the rubber ducky ones right here, that I totally didn't forget to bring to Hamm. It was all intentional and not my ADHD acting up. And I'm thinking about custom painting them to be a little more realistic, because I think almost all isopods have like a slight kind of rounded stripe pattern to their exoskeleton. I guess it's just isopod texture. And I kind of plan on painting the rubber duckies that way, so they can be a little more realistic.
Also,
and Orlando is back.
People, if you see our price for the toys, they're just really not cheap to get here.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Please don't be stressed, but it's just they're coming from Japan. We have to bring them in. The whole thing is just not that easy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. These ones, the rubber ducky ones, I imported with a friend. Imported sounds so weird. It sounds so professional.
Well, you imported them.
Yeah, I imported them. And it was the only way that I could do it was because I have an absolutely amazing friend that at the ripe old age of like 16 or 15 back then decided, I'm going to, fuck it, I'm going to teach myself how to write and read Japanese.
So, the toys are not cheap. But we only, the zebra and the clown we only have for us. But the rubber duckies, we're going to sell them. And yeah, but for us to make a profit, they're not going to be that cheap.
Yeah, and there might be one or two hand-painted ones that I'm going to hand-paint, which will, of course, be more expensive because I'm going to spend hours of work and materials.
Yeah, and then you basically have to pay for Finn's hourly wages. And
my hourly wage is $2.
What? But in 1920s dollars. $40,000.
No, I'm just cheap.
Nice. So what else can we tell about Hamm?
I think
we had fun. One more thing. I'm gonna rant now again. This is gonna be I do it every podcast. I'm like, there were so many people with the big pill millipedes. I think there were 3 tables, who's selling the big pill millipedes, the Rapholomeres and the big ones that are all wild caught, and they're not be able to breed. Nobody has ever bred them, and they're coming from a specialist. Like, the people who sell them have many animals, and they managed to breed all the animals, and nobody has ever managed to breed them. They're not cheap. And then, I talked to them, and I was like, hey, you're selling them. did you breed them yourself? Because maybe something changed. And they were like, no, they're imported. And I'm like, so you're catching them in the wild? And I was like, oh, somebody's doing it for us. And I was, so you're just taking them from the wild and then they're coming here for dying. No babies. Well, and then they all put in their pitch like, but you could be the first one to breed them. Well, you could be the first one to do it. It would be so cool if you managed to breed this animal that's probably already endangered, but I'm going to make profit off of it if you think that you're going to be the cool person. And I just, I just, next time I talk to those people, I'm going to bully them even more, and I'm going to have it on camera because I get so pissed off. Really, it's just such a dick move towards the animal. It's like, okay, I get it that we haven't found out how to breed them, and we probably should do that in the future. But then you don't sell them at Hamm. Then you sell them to people who know 100% what they're doing. But every fucking idiot can go there and buy them. You just need the whatever. How much is the Hamm ticket? We paid like
15.
15, but that was our seller price. Maybe it's a bit more expensive.
No,
for
I
other
think
people.
the daily ticket is 15.
So it was 15 euros for, and then you just go there and then you buy an animal and then you put it in a box and it dies 2 months later. And that was a great move.
I think there's a lot of, at least, I'm not super prolific when it comes to all the reptiles, but there's a couple of reptiles where I know they're hard to breed in captivity.
But there's a difference between hard to breed and nobody's ever done it.
Yeah, no, of course, but they're hard to breed in captivity, and if you do get them, they're really expensive because they're hard to breed in captivity. And then they have examples there that are like $70, and you're like, that's totally a captive bred animal, and they have like one on their entire table, and like completely other stuff, and you're just like, yeah, thanks for selling probably endangered wild-caught animals.
So nice.
Great move, buddy. Great. You're fantastic.
You're a valuable addition to this community. Mm-hmm. It would be a shame. No, I'm not going to say that because then we're going to get demonetized. But it would be a shame if you would
step on a Lego, an upside down Lego.
And the Lego is a landmine. That was what I was about to say. Yeah, go masturbate with a cheese grinder, you fuckheads. But what I was going to say is, by the way, I had a nice, and I talked about it with Kai Uwe from, they don't have a website or anything, but he was like our competitor at Hamm, and because they were selling geckos, but he had one part of his table was for isopods, and in the beginning I went to him and I was like, yo, what do you got? And we just openly talked and was like, yo, I'm over there, I have some stuff you don't have some stuff I don't have, I think you're a bit cheaper. I don't want to have like open war or anything. Yeah. I just hope that we both have a great show, and that if you need anything, come over. I'd love to talk. Maybe we can swap something. I think that even if your incentive needs to be money to be a nice person, then it's still an incentive to be nice, because I think that in order, if everybody in the community is positive and nice and helpful, then the community grows, and then you're going to sell more because there are going to be more people interested. Instead of it's like, oh, this community is so toxic, don't even get in there. So I think even if your incentive to be nice to people is money, be nice to people, because even that's going to pay off. But he wasn't. He was also the same way. He was like, yeah, of course, let's just have a nice time. And then he came over to my table and we talked a lot, and we just.
It's just also such a nice feeling when there's like, instead of being competitors, because you breed the same things, you help each other.
Yes, exactly.
Like I had such a nice conversation with the breeder I bought MJ from. He gave me advice on how to scent. How to scent their meals. He gave me advice on how to raise the babies, and we talked about some of the regulations in Austria being absolute fucking bonkers. And he was such a sweet guy. He was really sweet. He even told me a funny story when he scents the food for his babies.
Scenting, of putting smell on it.
Putting smell on it. Because hognoses in the wild eat frogs and toads. So sometimes the babies, they don't want to eat for you. They're just like, this is not a toad. Fuck you. I'm taking it personally. That's hognose babies in a nutshell for you. And he was like, he makes a smoothie. Like he basically smoothifies a piece of salmon.
Yeah.
And what he did was, those McDonald's smoothie cups?
Yeah?
Yeah, he put it in there and left it out to like trick his coworkers, and it worked.
Ooh, but I bet there's some bodybuilders out there who like gotta get my protein, bro, and then they're like the salmon shake at 3 a.m. to get their protein.
Oh, it was a really funny story.
But just to go back to the point, I talked to this guy. He was really nice, and then he said that we talked about this topic. We both ranted about selling animals that nobody's able to breed, and then he said, well, but it's also not our fault. Or like it's more complex than just saying, oh, the rainforest or whatever area it is being destroyed because people are taking the animals and selling them to us. And then, the people in the hobby are destroying the rainforest because you also said, which I think is an interesting point, that in this way, they still see over there, or not, of course not they, but like some people over there still see the forest as a way to get money out of. And then if we would not buy the animals, then they would be like, okay, the forest is just in the way of like farming cattle or whatever. And then that is going to be more money, which of course, with all the imperialism and all the nice things we do as a human race, that is a horrible thing to do. But it's more complex than just we should stop buying it.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we should stop buying it, but then it's not just like we're ruining it.
Most things are never black and white.
Excuse me?
You are so hilarious, my guy.
I know.
It's all just 50 Shades of Grey.
So yeah, we sold more of the. I mean, we're not gonna show all our numbers, but we sold more of the interesting stuff.
Yeah, that was
and
nice.
And less of the cleanup crew.
Yeah,
But again, I think in fall when people buy new animals, they're gonna buy more cleanup crew. But
it was completely different than from like a Messavine.
Yeah, like. We're not going to talk about Messavine, which is the Vienna convention, but people we sold many of the Porcelli vulcanius because it's new in the hobby. Like people came over and they were isopod people, and I was like, yo, maybe you want maybe this and this, and they were like, I got this, I know this, and then I was like, maybe this one, and like, oh, what's that? And I showed them, were like, oh, this is new, I'm gonna buy it.
We sold 2 whole boxes of rubber duckies.
Yeah, we did.
And every time the people came over and were like, rubber duckies, I take one.
Yeah,
and
they were so fast, right?
Yeah,
nobody was like, oh, but they're I'm not sure.
No one hesitated.
It was like, you got rubber duckies, I'm going to buy them.
Yeah, no one hesitated, which is like the complete opposite of selling in Vienna. In Vienna, you sell a crap ton of cleanup crew, all the cheaper stuff. And over there, the people were just like every time I told them a price, I was like, yeah, they're a little more expensive because this and that. And they were like, yeah, I know, give me the bug. Like, give me, here's money.
Give me the boys. There was one very awkward situation which I have to address, which is apparently a person bought something and then they came back and then they were just already holding in their hand the thing they bought, which was Arthur from France, and then he was interested in buying more. And then I asked around the table because it wasn't me who sold to him, and everybody was like, I didn't sell to him, and we were all kind of the opinion that he just took that and wanted to go away, and that was very awkward because.
It was my fault because I thought the way he bought it. After him came a woman that did a very similar thing.
Yeah, I only remembered that woman.
And same. Because they talked, like what they said were very similar, like context-wise. So I remembered that woman, and I didn't remember him. Yeah,
so Arthur from, I think it's Instagram is Arthur Nature Shot or whatever. He ordered, So we had a bit of a weird situation with him because also he didn't take a sticker when he bought.
Yeah.
So we went after people buy above a certain price, we give them free stickers, and he refused that. So that was also hard because otherwise he could have just went like, yeah, I bought from you. Here's the sticker I took, and then you'd be like, yeah, of course, we're bad. But then. And then it just got really awkward. I'm sorry. It was very. I did not enjoy that situation because also it was Santa Lucia.
Yeah.
Like. It's okay, steal the fucking Santa Lucia. Not that he did, but like, then you don't want people to just take from your booth because even if it's just 15 euros, you don't want people to steal isopods, and it just got in our heads.
It was
the
in
worst.
The beginning of the show, so we were.
It was when all the people came in, and
we were
really,
very confused. Yeah. We were very stressed. So
But then he wrote us, or he wrote to the store, and then after Hamm, I had all the animals still packed. It was like, hey, 24 hours. If you buy in this time. You get a discount because I don't need to pack them. They're ready to go. And then he purchased France, and it was like, oh yeah, and by the way, I'm that guy, and I was like, I'm so sorry. So of course I put some stickers in the package.
If he's watching this, you have my deepest apology. I am so sorry. I have no memory for faces. It's so bad. You can give me his Insta and I'll draw him a little custom drawing.
I think, also to be fair, so first of all, we're sorry, but also to be fair, there's a lot of weirdos and assholes at Hamm, a lot of people who are just there for free stuff or who want to haggle, or like, it's just, some people are weird, and because it's such a big amount of people feel anonymous. People deal stuff on the parking booth. Like, some people just go there without coming or without having a table. They do all their trade on the parking lot. So there's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of some shady stuff, and we were just very protective.
We must protect the boys.
But again, it was just not very well handled by us.
I think before we go off script even more.
Yes. No, but that's important. That's still conventional.
That's important, yeah.
So so that is like in big, broad strokes what it went like. So also, there's actually very cheap supplies to buy there. I'm just going to show you something.
Oh yeah, like really cheap.
Like, watch this. So I usually buy my cork bark pieces for my isopods because that's the favorite hide for me to give them. I buy it I used to buy it from Amazon for like 500 grams or so for 17 euros. I bought a whole banana box at Hamm. Is it in frame?
Yeah, it's a half in frame. A little more, now it's a frame. Cork bark.
And that cost 25 euros.
Which is insane, because if you buy them as hides for reptiles, you get one cork bark hide for 25 bucks.
I mean, these aren't the most amazing ones. They're all like pieces that are more like for isopods. Yeah. But still, it's super cheap. So you can buy good and cheap stuff there.
Yeah, about 4 coconut hides.
Yeah.
For the total of, I think, $5.
Yeah, I think you said like it's around that price, yeah. So
like all together, $5, which is usually if you buy them at stores, they're much more expensive. And if you try to make them yourself, it's just not worth it.
Yes. So shout out to everybody who was at our booth. Did we miss anything?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. So of course we have some internal discussion about what should we bring next time, how should we do things next time. But one thing I can recommend everybody is book early, book a hotel early.
Make your preparations early.
That was the next point. Make your preparations. Read the whole damn ass sheet of all the things you need to do early. And mark everything. Like, I went through it with a marker. I was like, this is important for us. This is not important for us because it's only for vertebrates. This is important for us. And then make sure you have all of that ticked, because all of that you can prepare a week before, 2 weeks beforehand. So that then you only need to do the things like packing the animals, which is time sensitive. Of course, if you're reoccurring, then you can just use the stuff from last time. And yeah, we're now going to show the animals we bought, except for the snake. We're going to show that another time.
I mean, you said I could just film at home and you'll add some clips.
Oh yeah, true. I'll give you the camera and then we'll add it later.
Yeah, that'll be wonderful.
But then you need to do whatever. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Good. So, how do we do this? Do we get the camera for close-ups?
Yeah, we can put one camera, just us, one camera close-ups.
We'll be right back.
We will be right back. Whew, I can feel the monster kicking.
We're back. So, we're gonna make a very fast... So, first of all, we're listening to Infect Mushroom, which I hope is making Finn and me more energized, which is exactly what people with ADHD need when they're already hyped up. Yes. So, first isopod from Hamm is Expanyoli Marbleized. And you can see why it's called Marbleized, because of the marbleized pattern. And yes, bug cam is still not amazing. We got them from a nice lady from Instagram. The one with the baby. Yes, really nice species. Mediterranean species, if I can remember correctly. Yeah, very basic keeping conditions. I think they're really neat. Wait, did I write Porcellio? It's an armadillidium. I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry.
None of this says Porcellio.
It says P for Porcellio. Can you just make an A out of this? Finn is currently writing the stickers for the boxes.
It's a little bit of a fucked up A.
That's okay. Nobody cares.
But the little Ankylosaurus I drew is also kind of fucked up.
Yes, Finn is already giving you a heads up. So this, I think it's really pretty, right?
What's really pretty?
Wait, I will do it like this.
Oh yeah, now I can see shit. Holy.
And then I will put this.
And it's
over
gone.
here.
It's
And it's
gone.
gone.
It's gone.
Look, it's pretty, right?
It's really pretty. Oh, I can see the little bug boys. Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
Bah, bah.
Pretty species, armadillidium species from the Mediterranean. I just thought they were cute, so I got them. Yes. We already prepped boxes. We're gonna put them in later. I should have again found some information about the bugs we have before starting the episode. Okay, the next one is a bit.
Oh, this blended in with the box. I thought my frame had a little corner cut out, but it's the
Oh, no.
isopod picture.
It's the isopod picture. Okay. Next up, I just have to check which one's which. Which light switch is which. Wait, I'll just. Why is this here now? Nice.
I'm currently using the big TV to check if my septum is crooked or not.
So this, I think we need a second. We need this, and then we put some in there so people can see them. Okay, this. This is the Ankylosaurus or Alligator. Is the second name.
Slow boys. They're so tiny.
It really rustles my jimmies how this is hard to get into focus. You never heard that? Rustle my jimmies?
No, but it reminded me of the, oh geez, this really ruffles my feathers. Just say fuck. Meme.
You can't see shit.
No.
I mean, you can see something on the top, bottom right corner, but
they're just super schmull.
okay, so this is wait, I wrote the name down for you. This is the Ankylosaurus is Reductoniscus tuberculatus from one of my homes. It's a very small but cute species, and we also got a bonus of a pill millipede in there.
There's one pill millipede in there.
Yeah, you can see him wandering.
Oh, is he the one all the way in the bottom?
Yeah, that's.
Can I have the box to have a look at it? Because I can't really see them on the screen.
Yeah, but if we can't see them, then people can't see them. Man, they're small. Okay, here are some. Well, there's one coming into frame.
Oh, he's so tiny.
He's super tiny, cute.
He's so little. Like your dick.
Well, I mean,
sorry,
worked for your mom.
It's a mandatory dick joke per episode. I have to. Oh, there's the little pill millipede.
And here are two in the foreground. Here. This here. Yeah, we're only seeing some butts, which isn't super interesting when they're isobuds.
But we can watch the little pill millipede scampering around. Do 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 do. His little feelies go pop 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 pop.
So we got them from one of our isopod homes. Homes as in homies. And there's one. Yeah, I think I might get some footage afterwards and put it in post. So yeah, these are very cute. They're called Ankylosaurus because they're very Ankylosauristic.
Spiky.
They're kind of spiky, yes. They're cute, and they're from Borneo. So I'll keep them more on the moist side, I guess. Then we have Styloniscus
Now I
Mauritiensis,
get to stock them.
which is another dwarf species, which I just got because they're interesting.
This
Listening.
moss, for some reason, smells really nice.
Yeah, there's a bunch. That's good. That's a good shot.
Holy shit, they're tiny.
Here they are.
Oh,
They're cute, right?
they're little tails. Oh my goodness.
And they're like orange, brown, yellowy. Yeah, nice species.
They're little tiny.
I'm gonna breed them and then have them as a cleanup crew. Also the Styloniscus, this is Styloniscus Mauritiensis. There's also Styloniscus dentiger, which is the very pink one. It can be very pink, it has different morphs. And we're gonna try to get that from my guy. What's his name? No, I can't remember his name. Yeah. And then we're coming to the most important part, which is Parakermania, Thailand spiky isopod. And they are super cute. Look at this boy. Again, so we got 3 dwarf species. We're so smart.
They're so small.
We're like, you know what people will really like to look at on our podcast? Dwarf species.
There's one on the leaf. You have to.
Yeah, but there's one on the bark. This one I wanted to show you.
Oh, it's bark. I thought that was a leaf. That was the exact one I was talking about. Oh, you can see his little eyes.
Isn't that cute? Isn't that a cute fella? So these ones apparently are from a cave. They're from Karsten Neukirch, which is the insecten dealer. And they're, he says, in the night it's 22 degrees, during the day 25. But then Ben from isopod.com said keep them on the cooler side, like 20 to 22 degrees. And do a lot of airflow if it's warmer than that. So I don't know how we're gonna do that. Still trying to figure that out. But yes, as you can see, a cute spiky species. Oh! Oh, look at the little fella.
Oh my god.
Yum, yum, yum,
He's
yum.
so brave. He's exploring. His little feelies. He's like a little punkopod. That's why I actually I drew one very
isopunk.
poorly on the label,
Let me
and
just do this.
I called him punkopod.
We should have a band called the Isopunks or something like that. Yeah, give us in the comments your isopod name related band names. Like David Hasselhoffmann-Zeggy or something like that. Or the Beatles. I'm glad Finn is not paying attention because that was horrible.
Beatles.
Because they're Beatles, but they're not Beatles.
They're not
Bugs.
Beatles.
Yes, exactly. What's the joke? Rock and roll.
That's the only type of music isopods listen to. Rock and roll.
They only listen to the roll part of rock and roll. Is there any other stupid names that we can come up with on the go? Okay, but whatever. We're back. Doink. Okay, Finn. We are kind of at the end of the episode, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there
I'm
anything you want to say?
Buy more isopods. Hold on, I have to look directly into the camera. Buy more isopods from us. You want to give us your money. You know that meme with the hypnotic thing?
Yeah.
You want to buy our isopods.
Buy the isopods, but only if you can take care of them.
Only if you can take care of them.
And also...
Once I have them, buy my baby snakes.
So we're actually
don't
working
know.
on some kind of new isopod food. We're gonna feed them the rich.
Yes, please.
Yes.
I want to. Yes.
Yes.
Can we feed homophobes to them?
Homophobes, the rich. I mean, transphobes, I guess, are the same as homophobes. So like the whole bigotry bunch.
The bigotry bunch.
The bigotry
That's
bunch.
what we're gonna call it. The bigotry bunch.
Bigotry bunch.
And then people are like, "This smells surprisingly like meat. What is this? Not human meat.
Not human meat.
Definitely not."
Okay, so we just got put on a CIA watch list. Nice. I think we should call it an end before we commit any further hate crimes.
We can't commit hate crimes. At least I can't.
That's not a working logic, Finn.
No, I'm gay. I can't commit hate crimes. I'm gay and trans. I can't commit hate crimes. I have the
Yes.
hate crime pass forever.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
No.
Finn is terribly racist, just so everybody knows.
No. Excuse me.
I saw a meme recently. Okay,
I'm
I gotta
not.
say this. It was like, you know, the if I'm blah blah blah, if I'm in a so and so competition and my opponent is, you know, if I'm in a I don't know
Yeah.
looking good competition and my opponent is Orlando and Finn, and it's like, ooh. And then it was like if I'm in a what is it? If I'm in a racial diversity competition and my opponent is the racist community, because you know.
Oh yeah.
The nationalism from all the countries has bigots in them, so yes. Great, more watch list and more people to be
Yippee!
offended. Yes,
drew
again, yes, you drew duck, and I like to offend people with flags in their bio.
Duck.
Schmucke duck.
Duck says bye bye.
We really liked having you with us. Oh yeah, and also Finn got greeted by a fan.
Yeah.
Which we had to find out who it was because it was a friend of mine. Finn was on the street and it was like, "Hey, I know you. You're from Isobros." And it was like, "Who
I was
are
like,
you?"
I was walking. I was on call because I was really hungry after going to the vet because I was there for over an hour. I was like, Ika, should I get McDonald's? Should I get food? I'm hungry. What should I do? And I'm in the call, like looking through the McDonald's, checking out how many people are there, being like, McDonald's. Going to the bakery, looking in there, and then I go back and decide, no, I have noodles at home. I'm gonna.
None of this is relevant to the story.
None of this is.
Please
but then
tell how you met the
I
person.
was walking around, and suddenly someone like walks up to me and goes like, "Oh my God, hi Finn!" And I was like, "Who are you? Why do you know my name?" And then he goes, "I know you from Orlando at the podcast." I was like.
Yeah, and then Finn was like, he looks like this and that, and
Yeah.
I showed him pictures of my friends who it could be, and then we found out it was Pete. It was really nice, not Iso Pete, but a different different isopod, but a different Pete is really nice. And then we had a person at Hamm who
Yeah.
approached us. We already talked about that. So yeah, the podcast.
Yeah, how he just stopped in front of our booth and went, "You're Finn from the Isobros." I'm like, "Yes, I think so. Hold on, let me check." That was weird,
Yes.
but he was so sweet. We're still texting.
Nice. That is nice. So shout out to that person.
Hold on.
Shout out to Pete.
Wait,
Shout
wait.
out to everybody who was nice at Hamm. And shout out to Carsten and Kai Uwe and people whose name I forgot.
Shout out to Cryptic Critter Cranny on Instagram. That's a guy.
That we just doxed the person. Shout out to so many people. It was really amazing at Hamm. And the next episode is probably gonna be more educational, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
The button. Keep winking.